Gulama Yusuf does is he's one of our long-term companies that are in our ecosystem. They do intellectual apps. That's what his business is called, Intellectual Apps UK. His history is that he's a software developer. We met him at our Google roadshow. We did a roadshow with Google in partnership with Google. And that's where we came across Gulama Yusuf's incredible talent and what he's been doing across the country with artificial intelligence and business efficiency. He really does break it down for a lot of startups and entrepreneurs. In fact, he has a massive following on LinkedIn. He's also a very interesting, articulate speaker, and I wanted him to have at least 20 minutes with you just to go over what you've been doing and what you can offer them. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I think the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to go back into that room.
Really?
No, just
You're serious?
no, that's fine. So, my name is Gulama Yusuf. I'm happy to be here with all of you. I'm the founder of Intellectual Apps and Gulama.io. I've been in tech for more than 2 decades now, more than half my life. Something that started with my parents enrolling me in this computer training course for 6 months. I hated them for doing that because I just finished secondary school. My friends bought this new video game, Nintendo 64, if any of you know it. And we just spent the whole day playing games. And they come and tell me, see, they're going to be going 3 times a week to this computer course. And that meant not playing those games. And all my friends will get better at it and they'll beat me all the time. That was my concern. But looking back, that was the single most important thing that happened in my life, that changed the course of my life and my career. Because I did that course, I got exposed to programming, I got into the university, I built software for my department. By the time I was done in like 4 years' time, like 80% of the university was using that software. You know, I never went home on break. I was consulting for other departments and showing them how to use it. You know, I just went on from that. I used 2 years after school to teach at the computer school. I went into consulting, worked at a consulting company for 6 years. And then at some point, I felt I knew better than they do. And I started my own company. And I faced the same issue that they were facing. You know, and I ran that for a couple of years from 2016 to about 2022. 2023, I moved to the UK. I got a fair bit of success. It was way back in Nigeria. And I moved to the UK to start, you know, a branch of that company here. And I was surprised because I didn't know I had this network of people. I was well known. I step into the room, everybody knows me. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then in 6 hours, all my network just goes to nothing, to zero, just flying from Nigeria to the UK. Right? Nobody knows me, no one knows my business. So I start building all over again. So what we do at Intellectual Apps is we work with businesses to help them solve efficiency problems with software and with AI. But because of the way things have been going so far, we've started to focus on educating business leaders on AI for them to get AI clarity, strategic clarity on AI. Because you can't implement what you don't understand and what you don't know. So it's more of a, you know, a bird's eye view of what AI is, understanding it, and looking at your own business processes and how AI fits into all of that. Right? It's a workshop I run for businesses, 4 hours, sit down with them just like this, mastermind style.
We're gonna do.
Yes, and then we go into the details and all of that. A couple of weeks back, Porsche, the car manufacturer, announced that they lost 99% of their profits in the first 3 quarters of 2025. And the reason they gave for that was that there was low demand for their luxury vehicles, and the full electric vehicles, and the effects of shifting their strategy back to internal combustion engines and extending the life of the others, right, and use some hybrid. Which struck me because it's very similar to every other industry when you're dealing with AI, right? Because EVs, electric vehicles, are like the new thing in car manufacturing, even though it did exist way earlier, but we just shunned it. It's like the new thing. So they went all in on it and they started seeing the effects of it, right? Now, I don't run such a large company like Porsche, right? So I don't know what they did wrong, but it's good for business leaders to understand AI in a similar way. Should they go all in with it or not? Should they stay as a human-only business? What do they risk? Do they risk going extinct? Most likely, right? Is there a way to have these two intelligences work together, human and artificial? Yes, there is. In fact, there are even 2 ways you can get that to work. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, so you guys don't get to see my slide. I promise you the best slide you have seen today. So we can talk about that. How do you augment the intelligences? And that was mentioned earlier, human in the loop, where you have AI can be the one at the forefront, but then when things get so complicated, they can now loop a human into it. Or you could have your own people, humans, drive the action and AI supports, right? That way you get to deal with the anxiety that people feel with AI, replacing them and all of that. So we get businesses to think about how does that work? How do they fit into their culture, their processes, and technology? And then we talk about the types of AI solutions. Right? Are you using surface level AI solutions? That's how we classify them. Like all the tools you have, ChatGPT and so on. Are you using automation tools, which are a bit deeper but still surface level? Are you doing AI integration, where you take these AI models that these big companies produce, and now you bring it into your own company? Instead of you now fitting your processes to the AI, you get the AI to fit to your processes instead. So it's part of your business. Understand your data, understand your processes. Right? So you don't need to be typing data in some chatbot and so on. Because I focus on leaders that are concerned about control, flexibility, and privacy over their data. So we have frameworks for that. And then the deepest level is where you go and build your own AI model from scratch, which I tend to discourage business from doing unless you're some big, large corporate. You don't need to do that. Just sit back, watch all the hype on TV. When they're done, they're going to produce some AI model. Pick that and use it in your business. 2 weeks later, they're going to make it better. Pick that and bring it into your business, right? So we help businesses build that kind of framework. Another framework we look at is, we call it the circuits framework. Right? It's just spelled circuit but without the walls there. And the idea is, how do you map out your processes that you have in your business? How do you view your business as a data machine? That's all it is really. People come to your business and happy and you provide some kind of service and they have some kind of outcome. From start to finish, it's about data. They fill a form, download something, talk to the salespeople, they fill another form, produce the service, they give you feedback. It's all data moving from one point to the other. So how do you bring AI into that? You have to understand your data flows. You have to be able to label each one. Are you capturing data? Are you interpreting data? Are you refining data? Are you creating data? Are you taking data away? Or are you sending data? So when you label that, I will show you some form. We'll use the worksheet and use all of this. Once you do that, you take your most painful processes and then you see where they get held up in terms of the data. Now I guarantee you, wherever you see that, are opportunities for AI to come in. And because you now understand the types of AI solution, you can tell which one works best. Right? And good for them. I run a company that's a software development company. I've been doing that for ages. So we take these ideas that they have this problem and we build software from the ground up, because it's not just about talking about it, it's about getting it done and building it out. So those are some of the things we cover at the AI strategy workshops. I was going to do a part of it in 3 steps, talk about clarity, precision, and action. I was hoping to just do the clarity part today, but there's not enough time, so I'm just talking about it in general. But in case you have a need for such, or you know a company has a need for such, we don't go too deep into the tool. It's just about, how do I think about this? Where am I? Where do I want to go? How do I align it? You know, even just policies in your business. When you're running a business, your staff are already using AI and exposing you to all those challenges and stuff. It's quite surprising to find out that we all just learned about how to make your data more private and secure online. So your staff are in your business doing all those things and just sending all your customer information over. And OpenAI is that we said we should use it, and they use it. So that's what I do, and yes, I hope we.
Where did you do it? When did you do it?
Sorry?
Where did you do the workshops? And when did you do the workshops?
So we do the workshop. It's based on a company basis. So when I speak to companies and they want the workshop run, we then organize it for them. So I don't have it like a steady, workshop that people sign up for. So it's a company leader basis. So it's either at the company or we have some venue and we do it. The next one I'm doing is on the 12th of January. It's for a non-profit based in Reading. We're doing as a hotel, we're bringing the leader, the trustees, and so on. We're going to go all through it. So yeah, that's.
Is it on a Zoom or?
So we do online. We either have it online or in person. Yeah.
How much is your
So in person is £525 per person.
£525.
Yeah, £525 per person. Then online is £375 per person.
How long for?
4 hours, half day. Yeah, it's a half day workshop. And we have these. Let me just show you the worksheet as we wrap up. So because we have it in 3 parts, in each section they complete, they get a card like a souvenir. Right? So you do the clarity part, the first part of it, you get this card. Then you do the precision part. You can see some SpaceX rockets trying to land there. And then the last part is the action. What do you lay out as your strategy and so on, and then they keep the cards. And then this
Is that 3 in one workshop or 3
yes,
in workshop?
no, 3 in one workshop.
Okay.
Yes, in one workshop. And then this is the worksheet I told you about, identifying your painful processes, and then taking the most painful one and breaking it down here and labeling it with whether capturing data, interpreting data, and so on. And then you choose the most suitable AI solution that works with it. And at the back, you can have the advantages, disadvantages. I have this online, so maybe I'll share. If you have seen my awesome slide, you have seen the beautiful QR code there that takes you. So I'll find you sharing it, so try to get it to all of you. You can download this and go through it, and some other useful links as well.
So could you
Maybe
Okay,
use
I have a
PowerPoint.
Yes, I can share the PowerPoint,
Link.
but usually not that useful if I'm not presenting it, but I can share that. I have a free mini course, 25-minute mini course that talks about all these frameworks. So that might be the most useful one. I could share a link to that on your own time, on demand. Watch it, and it's just going to upgrade your mind, as you go through it. Yeah, it's like putting in a USB stick and updating your software.
So question then.
Yeah.
You go and you speak to companies. Could you deliver the same information to kind of like people as a group who've got different requirements
Yes.
in one session?
Yes. I can do that as well. Yes.
I was thinking that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's totally possible. The only difference is with the company, you're not looking at their unique processes. Or with the group, you're not doing that, just bringing an example that are most relevant.
But if it was focused on a certain kind of, from what I picked up now, branding is a key thing that people talk about. Visibility and roles. So can you deliver one just focused on that to get clarity and all those things on branding?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And look, that's the nature of AI, right? You use it in so many places, and that can be done.
I've got a question.
Yes,
I know
please.
that everyone's pushing AI, and it might be the right thing or it might be the wrong thing, but and I know that, some organizations have said they're not going to use it maybe because of their carbon footprint. So unless the data centers are looking at renewable energy, because this is, it takes up a lot of energy, it takes up a lot of water, and it's causing a lot of disruption to the environment. So that's one thing. There's another thing, and that is the security aspect, because we say that you can use ChatGPT, you can use enterprise-wide, Copilot, and they say that they're not going to use your data to train their models. But then I asked my friend ChatGPT, okay, is it possible that you can unknowingly expose your data? And it says yes. And the thing is that, when, I don't know what it is, but if your service agreement says that you're going to give them information, they're going to be using your data to train their models.
Yes.
So,
Yes. So first of all, on the energy thing, I think that's going to be a long time until everyone's carbon neutral on the data part. I don't know if you saw it recently, but Bill Gates said that something about the climate.
What is this?
That the climate is not the number one problem for the world. I was like, what? Someone has been pushing climate change, all of a sudden they're taking a step back on it.
yes.
Why? Because of all these massive investments in AI and what it's doing to power, and kind of like want to let that happen. And then to your second question again, sorry, Mr. Papa.
How about you know the security? Because
Yes,
I've heard of all
yes.
sorts of things like there's
Yeah.
JP Morgan, there's Sage.
Exactly.
I mean data leaks. And then came for you told me that these are enterprise-wise applications, so the data should not be shared,
Yes.
and they should be using the data to train their models. But it's happening.
So you see these companies here and the rest, they love your data. Right? They just see you as the data source. So they will do anything to get your data. I even did a post on LinkedIn just recently talking about how advances in microbiology, brain computer interfaces, robots and all of that, someday they're just going to say, why don't we just make humans be the robots? And they start giving you, you have the chips in your brain and all of that. Just so that they can get to your thoughts, which is actually the real source of data anyhow. So, but the thing is, they want your data and you have to be very careful with what you use and so on. It was just recently that someone like me, I've been in tech, how many years? 25 years or so. Realized that there's a setting on LinkedIn that says all your data and your posts is going to be used to train their own model. I'm like, what? I switched that off. So they never tell you it's an opt-out option, right? You don't opt in, so you always opt out.
Where would you get that option on?
So I think it's on your settings on LinkedIn. You go to data, data privacy or something like that. And there's another set, just like 3 settings. So settings, another option around data, and then you turn it off. Yeah, just 3 steps. We share that as well. I'll just share the post. So you have to be careful about it, and that's why you work with the companies to bring the AI model into their business. Their data doesn't even go out at all.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got 1 more minute to wrap up.
Any other question? Yeah.
No further questions?
We want to see your slide.
Well, I'll send those through to you.
I told them that they're the best slides ever.
I
They
will.
don't get to see
I'll
it.
send
And now they want to see it.
I will be.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
that.